Hey guys, today I'm going to be answering your assumptions about me. I'm going to be doing my makeup and stuff as I go through the questions, so if I'm not super in depth about the products that I'm using, just know that I will list them all down below. Before I do my makeup, I actually want to dye my eyebrows. I figured I could let them process while I answer some questions. I use the Just for Men mustache and beard dye. I've been using it for years. I have previously been using the medium dark brown, but then yesterday when I was at the drugstore, I bought just light brown. I'm not sure if it'll be dark enough. Okay, so I asked you guys on the YouTube like community tab what your assumptions were about me. So I got a few here, so I'll try to get through them all, but I mean, we'll see how much talking I do. Jen F says, you seem like you would have been a straight A student, very smart. First of all, thank you for thinking that. I'm kind of a mixed bag, honestly. When I was in high school, I had like two groups of friends, like ones that were like crazy smart, like were just super into school, and then I had another friend group who was like kind of the rebellious group. So I found myself not caring about school probably as much as I should have, but I still wanted to fit in with my like other like really studious friends. So I got decent marks without trying too hard, but I still like cared. So I think like our school, we didn't have like letter grades, we had like number grades. So for me, like most of my grades were like in the 80%. And then when I went to university, I did really good my first year and my last year, but my second and third year, I really slacked off. I wasn't in with a good group of people, and yeah, I just slacked off a bit. I mean, I hate to say that I cared more about, you know, boys and my friends than school, but I did. Panic Station 7 says, you are taken for younger / older than you actually are. Your appearance seems ambiguous age-wise. I feel like I can really morph into like whatever age group that I'm hanging out with. I think that some of my features look very young, but I also feel like I can come across as much older than I am. It's very odd. So yes, that is definitely true. In case you guys didn't know, I'm about to be 28. So leave in the comments below how old you thought I was, or you think that I look, now that you know how old I actually am. Liz says, you are laid back and chill, don't like to go to clubs and bars very much. And when it comes to like food and alcohol and like entertainment, unfortunately, I just feel like I can never justify the money. It's like, why would I spend $7 for a cocktail? Definitely prefer to stay in. And when I do go out, I often wish that I was home. And I'm almost always like the first person to leave a party. Jennifer says, you don't give a shit about what other people think. Yes, absolutely true. However, I care a great deal about what I think of me. And that can cause some issues too, because I tend to be very self-conscious, and like not always in a super negative way, but I'm just like always thinking about, you know, how does this look? How does this appear? Like, what did I say? Did I say something wrong? You know what I mean? Like I really overanalyze situations that I'm in, and also just like how I come across and how I dress. So absolutely, I don't care what other people think, but I do really care what I think. Walkster100 says, you sleep a lot, but also what is sleep? So I would say that I don't sleep a ton. I'm one of those people who cannot nap. Like I just can't. I don't remember a point in my life like ever that I napped. When the sun is up, I cannot sleep. When it is nighttime, I go to bed pretty early and I get up pretty early. So I would say I sleep a normal amount. However, if I wake up during the night, I'm kind of screwed. Like I just can't go back to sleep. Paulina says, you're very hardworking. I like to think I am. I mean, most of you guys know I work like a normal office job. Like I don't do YouTube full time. This is really just my hobby. I just love it, do it for fun. I work really hard at that job, and I've worked hard at any job or anything that I've ever done. I've never been like handed anything in my life. I worked for everything I have, as modest as it might be. I have worked since I could work, even when I was in high school. As soon as I turned like 16, I got a job and I paid for everything myself. And I didn't work just like 1 or 2 shifts a week. I worked like 4 days a week. I probably worked like 25, sometimes 30 hours. And then when I was in university, I worked a full-time job when I was doing full-time university. So the way that my university worked was you would have the same classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday, you would have the same classes, and those classes would be a lot longer because obviously you have to fit them in 2 days instead of 3 like the Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes. So I scheduled all of my classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I went to university 8:30 in the morning until 11 o'clock at night, straight, like no breaks. And then I would work at my job at the mall Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I did that for a long time in order to support myself when I was going to school. I didn't have any help from anyone, paid for everything myself. And I mean, I still have a ton of debt as well, but having a job definitely helped with that. And it was hard because, you know, I had a boyfriend and I had friends, but I never had a day off. Jen says, you seem like the type that isn't into drugs, alcohol, but have maybe experimented with them in the past once or twice and then realized you didn't like them. Totally true. I'm not into drugs or alcohol at all. Like, I easily go months and months and months without drinking a drop of alcohol. I'm just really not a drinker. Many of you guys might know that I have migraines, so I try to eliminate literally anything in my life that could give me a migraine when I'm feeling good, because I really want to embrace the days that I don't have a headache or a migraine. And I mean, it happens a lot. Like for most of my life, I've had migraines anywhere from 3 to 6 days a week. And so if I'm having a day where I feel good enough to drink, I won't, because I just worry it's gonna give me a headache or give me a hangover, and then that's just another day that I'm gonna feel like crap. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Okay, the color was not too light at all. I was worried because it was 2 shades lighter than what I've been using on my eyebrows, but it actually is perfect. Okay, my skin is like so dry that I can literally see flakes of skin that I could just scratch off. So I'm just gonna take like a really heavy duty moisturizer. This is just like a big tub of like Vaseline. Maria says, you believe that it's possible to be a YouTuber and give real advice to real people, and that revealing your intimacy is not necessary to succeed. Absolutely. I don't reveal a lot about myself on purpose because I'm just like not a very interesting person. Like, I mean, I don't mind, like I'm not saying I'm complaining, but I just don't go on lavish trips. I don't have tons of money, so I'm not like always shopping and doing things. I also like don't love going out and like doing crazy things, and I don't have like a ton of friends. Like I really keep a very tight-knit group. So I just feel like I don't have a ton of things to share with you guys because most of my life is going to work and coming home and making supper and being with my family, which right now is a cat and a dog and my fiance Paul. Okay, this is a very, very beautiful foundation. I just have to talk about it for a second. This is the Vichy Teint IDL, which is kind of funny because that sounds like the Lancome Teint Idole. It is kind of orange in color, but what else is new? Marie says, you are very shy in real life, aka not YouTube. I wouldn't say that I'm shy. I feel like I'm pretty outgoing, especially with like people that I know. I really grew up performing. I was always in like plays and acting camps, and I did ballet my whole life, and we did performances all the time. And yeah, like I'm definitely not shy that way. SZ Panzika says, you have an artist's soul and also a rebellious nature. And they point out my tattoo that I have that says, sew us together, just a pair of tattered rags stained forever. It's from a really beautiful, I mean, I guess I'll call it a song, but it's more like poetry. I definitely have an artist quality to me. I really love creating things and thinking about ideas, and I've always loved like drawing and designing things. I feel like I do have a rebellious nature in the sense that I really don't like doing what everybody else is doing. I really like to stand out, even if it's in like very subtle ways. Marina Jane says, you sometimes regret bleaching your hair. You know what? There was a point in my life where I definitely did, because my hair was so fried and so gross, but now that my hair is like in a decent place health-wise, I freaking love it. Like when I was a child, I had hair that was it was blonde just like this, and my brother is still like very blonde, almost like this, and my parents were blonde, and I just feel like I fit in better when I bleach my hair, because I just feel like it looks like me, like when I look at childhood pictures of me. Okay, WB Chick 76 has a couple, so I'll just do one at a time. You live near the DVP. If I'm not mistaken, that's in Toronto, and no, I do not. I do live on the east coast of Canada, but I do not live near the DVP. She also says you haven't set a wedding date. Nope, have no wedding plans at all. I'm content with being engaged. I was content before being engaged, and if I can't afford the wedding that I want right now, even though it's not going to be like that crazy expensive, I'd rather just wait. Sarah says, when you're really into something, you can ignore noise distractions, but if you're not, you daydream. I actually really like background noise when I'm like working hard at something, but I hate background noise when I'm doing something like super trivial or something that I don't care about. Sarah has a couple more here, so I'll answer some of those as well. She says, your middle name is a classical name. Nope. My middle name is a last name in my family, so it's not actually like a typical first name. Like, you know, people have like Anne, Marie, Elizabeth. No, none of that. Your first real boyfriend was after high school. I would call my first real boyfriend in grade 8, and I know that sounds so stupid, but this guy I was just so head over heels for. And we dated for like all through middle school, then we kind of broke up a little bit and got back together at the end of high school. And yeah, I would still call him like my first real boyfriend, even though I was super young. And then I had a couple other real boyfriends in high school too that lasted quite a long time. My first like true love definitely happened after high school. I met him the summer after I graduated, and I was about to go to university. It's a long story. Eliza says you grew up religious. Not really. I grew up in a super tiny town, and a lot of my friends were raised religiously, but my parents never really enforced that at home. Like, we did go to church on Sundays up until I was like 11 or 12, because my grandmother was like a Sunday school teacher there, and my mom just thought it was like good for us, but like we didn't really grow up religious. We didn't have like super religious values, and I stopped going to church when, you know, I started being interested in my friends and boys. Kelly says, I think you're very nice because you're Canadian. Thank you. I mean, there are some mean Canadians out there too, but I like to think of myself as a pretty nice person, not just because I'm Canadian. Lassie says, sometimes you miss your short brown hair from 2015. Never, Lassie, never. Angel says, you're kind of a freak. Probably tried the grapefruit thing. And then she says, I had to do this because all the other comments were so vanilla. Angel, I am vanilla. I don't know what the grapefruit thing is. Should I Google? I Googled and I'm still confused, so no, I'm not a freak. Side note, I'm using my favorite Essence Satin Touch blush in the shade Satin Love, and then I'm going over it with another Essence blush. This is the Silky Touch blush. They don't even sell this anymore, I don't think. It's in the shade 10 Adorable, but it's super old and I've been holding on to it because I just like it so much. Joanna says, prefer having a small circle of trusty people around rather than lots of superficial friends. Absolutely. I used to have a big friend group, and they definitely weren't the right friends for me. And after I saw what some of them, just who they truly were on the inside, I just kind of removed myself from that group and kind of started all over. And I'm so glad that I did, because I wouldn't have met all the good friends that I have now, and I definitely would not be in the situation that I am right now. So absolutely, I just prefer to have a few very, very trusted friends. Flying Snow says you were seen in high school. I wouldn't really go that far. I definitely had some like scene friends. Like I said before, like I had a group that was like more rebellious, and then I had a group that was like super preppy. Found that my style was like a weird mix. Like I would wear, you know, black skinny pants with like the studded belt and the Converse and like the heavy like eye makeup. But then I would like pair it with a pink American Eagle sweater. So it was like I fit into both friend groups, and it was not a cute style time for me. I don't know, I'll see if I can find a few pictures, but honestly, that time was like before Facebook was even a thing. Like I was like 16 or 17 before Facebook even like existed, so I don't have a ton of documentation. Probably for the best. Kelsey says your best friend is the talkative one. Absolutely. My best friend is like such a chatty Cathy, but I could listen to that woman talk for hours because I love her. Completely count on her to make sure things aren't awkward ever. I'm just using this ColourPop Flexitarian highlighter, just kind of on my neck and shoulders. Like I really don't like this for my face because I find it really gets glittery after a while, like after the base kind of melts off. Whimsical Lie says, you don't really play video games. No, not at all. The Real Dye Babe says you have a college diploma versus a university degree. I have both. I went to university, so I did my undergraduate degree there, and then I did take a 1-year advanced college program in public relations. So yeah, I have both. Jenna Batman, I love that username by the way, says you're a fan of retail therapy. Yes, yes. Especially like shopping when I'm like having a rough day. I just always feel like if I buy something new, I just get this like little energy rush and I feel so much better, even if it's like something so stupid. Alyssa says you're an INFP personality type. No, I'm actually an ENTP personality type. I'm ENTP-T. Basically, the ENTPs of the world, there's very few of them, or so they say. It basically means that I have a lot of big ideas and I like to play devil's advocate. I mean, among other things, but those are like the strongest personality traits of the ENTP. Corey says you're secretly Lily Reinhardt's long lost sister. I literally get that comparison all the time. I don't see it really. I mean, maybe like a little tiny bit. I feel like she has like a more feminine face than I do. But yeah, I get that a lot actually. Vivling Kelly says, I think you got fillers recently and you're that stylish boss at work with great management skills. Thank you. I'm not a boss at work. I like to think of myself as a boss babe, but no, I'm not actually a manager. But I do like to dress really well and stylish for work, even though like my environment is super casual. Like I could wear sweatpants on some days, but I do try to be semi-stylish. I don't know if it's successful really. And as for the fillers, yeah, so I've gotten fillers twice in my life. Once in 2017 and once like 3 months ago. So the first time that I got fillers, I got the non-surgical nose job. So I got the filler placed right in between my eyes, which basically helped to smooth out the bridge of my nose from the side. And I freaking loved it. It looked so good. Unfortunately, I don't know how this happened. Doctors don't even know how this happened. But I developed trigeminal neuralgia like pretty much immediately after I got the filler injected. So basically they think, but aren't really sure, that it was like pressing on a nerve somewhere that was like connected to the trigeminal nerve, which is a nerve that runs like, it's kind of like in a 3 motion, I think. And I was having like, it was like jolts of like electrocuting type of pain like in the side of my face. And I got the filler dissolved like probably a month later, and basically like immediately, like a day after I got the filler dissolved, like I started feeling better, and then like 2 days later my symptoms were totally gone and I haven't had a problem since. So I really do feel like the filler did give me that complication. So for that reason, I haven't gotten filler in that area ever again. And then the fillers that I got, I do have lip fillers right now. Honestly, I don't even notice a difference. Like, they were pretty noticeable when I first got them. Like, my top lip is absolutely the exact same as it was before. I can still see like a tiny bit of filler in my bottom lip, but I have a pretty high metabolism, and so I think that my body just metabolized the Juvederm pretty quickly. I also had complications with my lips too. Like, I had to go back and get, you know, some places like fixed, and I even still have like a bump here. I don't know if you can tell. Anyway, we are at the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for everyone who submitted assumptions about me, and it was really fun to answer some of these for you. I hope you learned some things about me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.